Like some of them, not all of them. And I seen the depression. I seen that that shadow that's chasing them, right? And the kids don't know what's chasing them because they interacting with their friends at the moment. So would need to be explained with parents, man. Parents need to understand that their actions do affect their children, your children. The way you talk, the way you deal with situations, and the way you handle things, right? It can and it will eventually seep into their soul. And what happened is you find your kid that was from an A1 student. Now this kid is failing grades. This kid is running the streets. Now this kid became a drug addict. He's on meth. He's on coke. She's on dope. 13, 14, 15, 16 years old. I've seen it all. So you trying to figure out why? Why? I got them in a great home. They're in a good school. Why? That stuff is just material stuff. That's not the issue. The issue is it's a psychological and it's emotional and it's a spiritual issue that you have put a dead spirit in your house. And in your house you have allowed that to manifest with your children because you truly as a parent neglecting what is coming out of your mouth and what is your body projecting, and they take that in, and you just creating a situation that's gonna ruin them in years to come, you know.
So on that you brought up some good points. So like talk about those spirits you talked about, like how it brings spirits to the home or to that entity, that kid or that person.
So you mean on the negative or on the positive?
On the negative.
Okay, so I make sure to clarify, because we got two kinds of spirits,
right.
But so what brings that stuff on is negative movements, negative action, gossipers, people who gossip about other people and they bring it home, people who look down on other people and bring it home, people who feel that they need to project that image as I'm inferior and you inferior, right? They bring that home. People who always constantly tell their kids compete, right, and always win. No, you tell your child to compete, right, and have fun. You don't put that. I need to do this because my mother, my father told me, and if I don't win, are they gonna look down on me? Are they gonna talk to me like this? Are they gonna be like that? Are they gonna hate me or whatever? No, So you bring those things into your house, right? And when you bring those into your house, your kids, right, is starting to be attacked by all that negative, I call it demonic spirit, right? And what happened is, man, things start manifesting. You start seeing things a year later, a few months later, the changes in your child and all that. You don't know why. You don't know why. Look what you keep bringing into your house. You bring some form of destructive behavior around your child, right? And in your head, you don't see that you doing anything. As a matter of fact, most adults be like, "Well, these are my kids. I'm an adult. It's just my way of doing and addressing things."
Yep.
No, you're not living for you no more. You're living for your children. Your best interest, your best interest. Everything that you do is for the best interest of your children. So that means you have to know how to leave all your junk out the door before you step into the house.
I think that's a key fact a lot of people don't do, like especially parents, and it's hard because I know they're dealing with their kids, they're dealing with their own life, and they're probably taking care of such and such, and sometimes they forget to leave it at the door for real.
No, I mean that's a fact, but a lot of this stuff because parents, they live outside their means, man. They wanna press the next door neighbor, the kid down the street. They want their kid to have this. They want their kid to look like this. They want to drive a $60,000 car and paying $3,000 for rent, and they got to pay the phone bills, the light bills, all kind of stuff, right? So you put all this burden on yourself, and you bring that madness to your children, because in your head, I'm doing this for you. No, you're doing it to press other people's. You know, if you want to do something for your kid, right? If you truly want to do something for your kid, okay, well, listen, let's get him a trust fund. Let's get him a credit at the credit union. Let's get him some books. I'll get her some books. Let's send them to a camp or something. Let's take them to the museum. Let's let them learn about history. That's what you do. I mean, those are things you should do. Oh, I'm not gonna buy this $6,000 car just to drive around, let people think I got money. No, I'm gonna get me a little Studebaker, and I'm gonna drive that, save my money, and then as I get, I can grow a little bit, I step outside that means. That's what adults supposed to do, not do things for other adults that don't know them, don't care nothing about them, and frankly, like, well, once you crumble, they be like, well, hey, that's on them. It's not my problem. So that's one of the major reasons, man.
Where do you feel like the shame or like the trying to impress people stems from?
It stems from when we was kids. You know how we was a kid. You know how we was young.
Yeah.
You went to school. Mm-hmm. You told your moms you want this, you want that. Your mother's like, why you want all these clothes, these sneakers, and all this here? It's not to go to school, to be in school to learn. You getting all that for that female that you want to impress, right? She does the same thing. She does the same thing. She get all this stuff to impress this guy over here, right? So everything you doing is to impress someone else that don't even know you. You're not even in a visual, right? And that's one of the main issues is that we do a lot of things for other peoples that don't know nothing about us, but we want them to know something about us, right? And so, it's a little saying, right? If you ever study or watch wildlife, right? So there's this little bird, right? This little bird, all the birds compete.
Yeah.
So they build a little house, right? They use little gadgets, little things like this here for the female, right? Female up in the tree looking like, okay, who I'm gonna choose? So the bird that always wins, the one who got that one shiny object, that one little thing that sticks out that all 50 other birds have not, don't have, and so that one bird was chosen, right? And all the other birds, they mad, man, listen here, now they'll destroy their whole little house that it took them a month to build, right? And that's pretty much, man, what human beings do, man. It's like a lot of our movement is if you can look at nature and see, hell, we use primal instinct a lot, and we mimic some of the some of nature,
Where so you feel like it all stems from like childhood, like not
definitely childhood, because if you look at prime example, right? You take a 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old, 11-year-old kid, 12-year-old kid, right? All right. A kid don't really become conscious of his awareness and his surroundings until you hit about 12, right? That's when they start getting headaches, right? So they don't look for clothes and all this crazy stuff for Timmy or Mike or Chris 2 doors down or some unknown person they never met. They don't tell their mom, their mind ain't even on nothing like that there. So you speed it up a little bit when they get about 12 years old. Next thing you know, they start, getting up in age, going to school. They start seeing all the other little girls and boys doing what they want to. And next thing you know, they come home telling them, Mom, can you get me some Jordans? Mom, can you get me this here? For what? Mom's like, why you want? For what? Oh no, because da-da-da-da. So now that's when the lies start. Now the kids is starting to tell lies, right? And so, because the kid ain't gonna tell his mother or father, well, because I like this boy over here, I like this girl over here, so I want to get this so they can notice me. You know what the answer's gonna be, right? So that's when the lies start, about 12. So now you speed that up a little bit. So when they hit like the 16, the teenager years, when they hit the teenager, it really goes haywire then, right? Mm-hmm. Everything they do is for somebody. Everything, right? And then that's when they think that they grown. That's when they, everyone think they grown. When they hit 16, 17, they think they grown. Why? You ask them, why you think you grown? Because I'm 16, 17. Then you have to say to them, do you understand you're 16, of years is your age is only all it is to signify how long you've been existing on this planet. That don't determine your ability as an adult. That just signifies how long you've been on this planet. You've been on this planet, girl, for 16 years, 10 hours, 43 seconds, and 2 minutes. They look at you like, right? You know, so that's the next phase. And then the other phase, when you hit the adolescence and adult, it's on and popping. You know, not saying everybody, but the majority of America, that's pretty much where it all stemmed from. As a kid, when you hit 12, right? That's when all that materialistic consciousness come in at.
So if it's at like around 12, what message do you have for like kids around that age, like to not be impressed about people around them or situations or what someone got or someone doesn't have? Like, what's the message you would tell the kids?
I would tell the kids, like, yo, be a kid, yo, be you, be happy, man. Do what kids do, man. Learn, you know, hang out with their friends, you know, prepare themselves for when they get of age or what career they want to choose, what field of work they want to get involved in. But you know they're going to change their mind about 1,000 times before they hit 16, right? Mm-hmm. So you know that. But long as these kids, man, long as you tell these kids, man, like, hey, man, you know, enjoy yourself, man. Don't worry about what other people think. Don't impress people. Don't try to impress anyone that you don't know. If you want to impress somebody, impress yourself by studying. Impress, you know, be a person who other kids would look up to and want to be like, you know, and you be like other kids that who's trying to create and do things. And that's the kind of compliments, and that's the kind of things you want to do, you know. And it's all those things is beneficial to yourself and your friends.
That's dope. I like how you put that. What's one way like to avoid like the depression that comes with trying to impress people? Like, for example, let's say you got the new Jordans and I don't got it. What's one way to like avoid that or like help or cope with that type of depression?
One way to deal with that, I don't care about them Jordans. Them Jordans not gonna make me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just simple as that, man. Okay, you got some Jordans. You know what I got? I got this brain. And you know what else I have? I have the ability to create.
Right.
So, you know, pick one. You know, it's a no-brainer. I choose the ability to create.
Right. So what message would you have for someone that's getting like either bullied or teased when it comes to like having those Jordans or not having them?
And so what I would tell, like I tell my nieces, I tell them that, man, they can get whatever they want, but we choose to just get the things that they need, you know, for everyday youth, right? Uses. We also get them, you know, like laptops or whatever they need, right? My thing is this, right? When it comes to bullies, because I can't stand a bully, right? When it comes to bully, right? See, a bully is this. This is what I tell all my nieces and nephews, right? When you deal with a bully, you tell a bully, and you say to a bully, right? I understand you don't have the capacity to comprehend or to communicate with me or anyone else, right? But seeing that I understand that you cannot function or focus on yourself, but others who trying to be something, right, or someone, I am not gonna sit here and indulge in your stupidity. Bye-bye.
That's dope.
What are you gonna do? Now, if he attacked a kid or whatever, he or she no longer will be in the school. They might catch a case. The family is gonna look very like crap because this kid the kid is portraying what's in his house. So that means the parents is not chastising their kids or not showing their kids how to deal with things without trying to bully someone. So either the mother is the bully or the father the bully or the relative that's around the kid is the bully. So he feels he need to take it out on others because the uncle be like, boy, look what I got on. Look what I'm dressing up. So he goes, get me this here. Then he go to school or whatever. Yo, I got this. Look what you got on. Oh, you got some, what's those, Converses? You know? So It stems from the house, man. Again, it's just how one is brought up. It's how one is stimulated. It's how one is raised in a house. You know, that's what it all boils down to. It goes back to your house. It goes back to your neighborhood. It goes back to where you grew up at, right? And these things comes from out of the house. See, these things just don't materialize from out of nowhere. You need a tangible object. You need something tangible to cause these effects. So what is tangible, right? I mean, what can we put a form to that can cause chaos? A human being, right? So once you put the flesh there, then you can put all the other things there: the emotion, the hate, the bully, I don't like you for whatever reason. You can put all these negative thoughts, all these negative actions, all these negative behavioral traits. You can place that in that body, and that usually comes from within the house, or strangers, or who they socialize with.
Okay, what's some ways that you're working on making depression something more easy to talk to the people around your community?
So my thing is I try to share some of the things I do, right, for myself, but understand everybody is a little different. We all, some things might work for me and might not work for you. So what I do is give you all the information that I have, and what you can use, you take. What you can't use, you discard it, right? And it's nothing wrong, because it's like art, right? Yeah. There's no right way of doing art. There's no wrong way of doing art, right? It's what you see and what you want that's going to help better your art skills, and it's the same way, bro.
Right. So, is there any projects you have in mind that you want to start or that you want to do to make a change when it comes to depression, or either in your life or the people around you?
So, I actually started a project at the Gavin Foundation. It's called Stitch for Life, and this project deals with AA, substance abuse, trauma, and a lot of the issues that we have that stems from the community, being in the community, being in a house, being outside our house. It comes from depression. It comes from trauma. It comes from mental health issues, because a lot of people's been abused. A lot of women's been sexually assaulted. A lot of men's been sexually assaulted. A lot of women's assaulted each other. A lot of men, vice versa, right? So all this stems from a dysfunctional house or mental health issues, right? Or abuse from the community that they live in, either by a bully or somebody, right? Mm-hmm. And so what I try to do is bring something to the table unique to help people deal with that and cope with that. And so what I've seen when you start dealing with these things that lead up to depression, bipolar, schizophrenic, or whatever, right? We have so many different issues that went on in our life, one point of our life. So what you have to do, and what I figured out, that you have to address one thing at a time. Sometimes, we have people who are very qualified to be able to address mental health issues, because depression is part of mental health, right? Is mental health issue, and sometimes they miss the mark because they lump everything up in one sum. They just lump everything up as depression. Okay, yeah, but there's many phases to this here. There's many things that led up to this here. So you have to get to the root of everything. So the way you do that, you go to the beginning and you work your way up. You can't work from top down, because you're gonna miss everything. You gotta go from the bottom and work your way up. You get a clearer picture once you get to the top. So when we sit down and we talk about the things that we is dealing with, that led us to depression, led us to drug use, led us to alcohol abuse, even some parents abusing their children, right? It all stemmed from trauma in their life, not knowing how to address things, not knowing how to deal with things, because we were taught all these things were taboo.